All right, we're not the last, we're second last, and they say they save the best till second last. So, no, look, thanks for joining us, guys. It's really great to be here again. Big thank you to Des and the team for putting on another great event. We're back again. Love being in Queensland. We've obviously got Queensland-based assets, but today I'm going to talk about a new story. Okay, I'm not sure if any of you have ever heard of QMines. We're a relatively new company. We've only been listed about 2.5 years, but we're flying. Okay, we're unashamedly younger. I've got the baby face. I'm 41. This is my third listed company. Our last one we sold very successfully. We made our investors a lot of money, and we're here to do it again. All right. So QMines, Q for Queensland. We're doing things differently. As you'll see here, you'll see on the front page, we're a zero carbon mine developer. Now that's really important. Okay. We've heard about this energy transition. We know where the world's going. We know we need a lot of copper. And we are very, very proud to say that we're not talking about ESG. We haven't got a strategy about it. We've already done it. Okay, so one of only 3 ASX listed resources companies that's certified carbon neutral today. All right, so I won't dwell on this too much. Everyone knows about the case for copper. Okay, we know about this energy transition. We know it requires a lot of copper. Okay. We know there's a significant use going forward in terms of electric vehicles, renewable energy, and the growth rates are phenomenal. Doesn't matter which analyst you talk to, I think everyone sees that medium to longer term, copper's got a very strong demand dynamic going on. Okay, but what many of you won't know, okay, is that copper is a Queensland story. All right, I know we've got this, in Olympic Dam, we've got a great mine called. In South Australia, we've got a great mine called Olympic Dam. But if you strip that out, which is probably 90% of South Australia's production, most of the copper mines are actually in Queensland. Okay, so if you want to be in copper, you've got to be in Queensland. I think there's 13 tier 1 mines up and down the coast here. Lots of infrastructure. We're close to Asia, close to China, which is the largest, obviously, copper consumer in the world. And so it's a great place to be in Queensland, to find copper. Now, I thought I'd go a little differently. Everyone talks about the technical side of their projects and things, but I thought I'd just give you a little bit of context, a little bit of background about why our strategy and why we wanted to, be in copper. I did mention at the start that we actually had a very successful business before called Alt Resources, which we sold to a large US-based private equity group in September 2021, generating a lot of value for our shareholders. We deliberately wanted to move into Queensland. As I said, we knew if you wanted to be in copper, you had to be in Queensland. Okay, but if you back solve, why I think you're going to see some outsized returns in copper. Okay, there is a real scarcity in this space. Okay, so if you look at gold, there's about 40 producers, 4 developers, and 300 plus explorers. You look at copper, there's only 4 producers. Okay, 5 if you really look hard. Okay, why is that important? It basically means that when the capital comes back to copper, and it will, you're going to see some really big outsized returns in this space. So watch copper. I'm telling you, the space has obviously been a very difficult market in the last 18 months in the junior end. There is deep underlying value here, and when I ran the resources fund, we always struggled to find quality copper and copper development. And I think that was really the strategy why we wanted to move into Queensland after selling our last business. So there's only 5 producers. You're seeing declining production across a lot of those producers. It is a challenging environment, and we think we've got something truly unique here at QMines. We've got open pitable resources. We're close to the coast. There's a significant amount of sunk capital here, which means it'll be low cost. We've got everything we need to build Queensland's next, copper mining superpower. All right. If you look at our recent acquisition on the western side, we've just bought 49% of a business called a project called Develin Creek. We're about to acquire the remaining interest in that. It's cost us about $4.5 million. We bought it deliberately because it all of a sudden gives us scale. Okay. So we've now got about 15 million tonnes in resource, 1.2% copper equivalent, and we've got the scale we need, to turn this into to take this down that development path. All right. Now, many of you who've seen our management team know that we like to move things along quickly. All right, so our last business, we rolled out about 40,000 metres, 6 resource updates, a feasibility study and a maiden reserve statement, all within 24 months. So, not one resource, 6 resources, okay? We've done it again, all right? So I said at the start, we're unashamedly younger, we're motivated, we like to move things along, okay? We've now pushed out, we've only been listed a little over 2 years now. We've already pushed out 5 resource updates. We've got our 6th on the way. We're absolutely flying on our PFS, our pre-feasibility study. It's going exceptionally well. We're way ahead of schedule on that. That'll be out in the first quarter next year. I'm telling you, this is a story to watch. All right, so Mount Chalmers, I won't get too technical, although I know you're probably a little bit knackered this time of the day, but I think a couple of really key characteristics that set Mount Chalmers apart, okay? I mentioned before, this is going to be an open pit, okay? This is shallow mineralisation, it's outcropping at surface. If you look closely, you'll see all the grade is right at the top of the deposit. Now that's really important. It'll pay back, debt quickly. It'll generate really strong cash flows early in the mine life. It's a fantastic asset, okay? And if you look at a lot of the other producers on the ASX, it's very rare to find open pit, high-grade open pit material, and we've got it here at QMines. I mentioned we just bought a new asset, Develin Creek. Develin Creek obviously will come in later in the mine life. Again, another high-grade copper asset with some zinc as well. There'll be there's 2 deposits here, Scorpion and Sulphide City. We're moving in there shortly to start drilling these. There's a lot of growth potential here, and we'll get to that early in the new year. So I mentioned the pre-feasibility study. It's going exceptionally well. Those of you who know our team will know that we delivered the last PFS in about 6 months. They typically take 12 to 18 months to deliver. I will say we're flying, we're way ahead of schedule, and we're going to deliver this, and we expect it to be a really big catalyst for our story in the shorter term. We're targeting about a 1 to 1.5 million tonne per annum processing facility. We've already got 10 years mine life just from open pits, not underground, open pits. So it'll be low on the cost curve. It's going to make a lot of money, but there's a significant amount of upside as well. Now, this is the part that gets me excited. Having been in the funds management business a long time, investing in a lot of resources companies, we have, and I mean this, we have upside in spades, okay? We were very lucky. We flew a large helicopter-borne EM survey in January this year, and it came up with 34 new EM anomalies. And I've heard some conversation about VHMS deposits here today. For those of you who are a bit more technical, you will know that these things light up with EM, okay? So we've got 34 of these that we've now ground truth, and we've started to drill we've drilled the first 2 now. And sometimes you do need a bit of luck in this business, and we certainly had it on our side. We moved into a place called Artillery Road, which you can see on the slide here, and the first hole, I think we hit 20 metres of semi-massive sulphides, so it's fantastic. So it is a big system. We put out an announcement on Monday. I'd encourage you to go and have a look. This is a whole belt. We own it 100%. It's a new area. It's not Mount Isa. It's around Rockhampton. We really think this is a belt scale opportunity with a lot more upside to go. So keep an eye on this Artillery Road. It's big. We're going to get back in there and do some more drilling soon, but we think it could generate some immense upside for our shareholders. Oh, going the wrong way. Okay, so capital structure is pretty simple. I'll glaze over this. I like to keep things really tight, okay? So 210 million shares on issue. We've got that architecture for success, okay? So we've been deliberately really husbanding the cash. We've got 2.4 million in the bank. We've got a very simple ownership structure, no debt, very little options, no royalties, no silly buggers, very clean capital structure. And we think that'll give us, when we deliver some of these catalysts in the short to medium term, we'll deliver some outsized returns for our shareholders. All right, so very simple story. QMines, the ticker code is QML. It's a Queensland story, it's a copper story. I don't think I've heard anyone at the conference today say they don't like copper and where it's going. There are very few of these quality copper stories out there, okay? So I encourage you to go and have a really good look. This is not investment advice, of course, but I really think I'll be calling Arnie Bettle and Uncle John. I really think this is one to watch. All right, thanks very much for your time, and thanks again to Des for the conference.